Welcome to Chad's $5 Fridays or Felon Radio or whatever the hell you want to call it today. Whatever the hell I want to call it today. I seem to change my mind fairly regularly. Okay, how is everybody doing? Everyone doing well? Good. So we are going to do a little bit of running around in Middle Earth tonight. Oh, why am I not moving over here? What the fuck? Let's see. It's going to be one of those nights, is it? It's going to be one of those nights, is it? Am I not actually online? Appears it's going to be one of those nights. Why not? So we're going to do a little bit of work in Middle Earth tonight, and it was a hard decision tonight because it's been a great week for gaming, and I have no idea if anyone's hearing a word of this. I won't know for a moment. It looks like Hey, okay. No, it's still fucking frozen. Why is it frozen? Oh, it really is frozen. Holy shit. Huh. Well, let's fix that real fast while we're talking. So, how is everyone this evening? Are we doing good? Always got to be a problem with the camera, huh? You ever notice that? There's always got to be a goddamn problem with the camera. I have a feeling it has something to do with Discord. If that's the case, that's alright. I guess you won't see my. I'll get rid of that. So, anyway, I'm glad you can hear me. I'm assuming you can hear me. I'm going to have a better camera soon, I promise. All right, now the camera's live. All right, as I was saying, it has been a fantastic week in gaming. It was actually really hard to decide what I wanted to play tonight. Um, so far this week in gaming, what have we done? Well, let's see. Um, Late last weekend, I finished, or early last weekend rather, I finished part one of the Assassin's Creed, um, the Assassin's Creed, what do you call it? DLC. I finished part one of it, chapter one. So I'm patiently waiting for chapter two to come around because it was a lot of fun. Um, Also, I restarted. I didn't restart. I picked up where I left off from so long ago in Shadows of Mordor, which is the game I actually got my Xbox One to play. Uh, a lot of fun. It takes place in the years between The Hobbit and The Fellowship of the Ring. Mordor is actually kind of, sort of responding to nature again. It's before Sauron, or right as Sauron is kicked out of Dol Guldur in Mirkwood and takes back Mordor and wrecks the place up again. And it is about a ranger in charge of watching the Black Gate, and he's living there with his family. And when Sauron comes back, he takes it and wrecks up the place and sends his agents to kill the Gondorian ranger and his family, and is quite successful. Except somehow the Gondorian ranger gets bonded with the spirit of Celebrimbor, who created the three elven rings and taught Sauron a lot about ringcraft. Um, and he's sort of kind of brought back to life, bonded to the spirit of the dead elf lord, and proceeds to wreak havoc all through the Uden area of Mordor and areas surrounding it. And I hadn't realized I was a lot further along than I thought I was. I'm actually halfway done. I thought I was about quarter of the way done, and I could not beat the Hammer, who was a black Numenorian, a man of Mordor, who was the guardian of the Black Gate, basically making everyone's lives miserable inside of Uden, which is an area inside Mordor. I could not beat this fucker for the longest time. It took me, I don't know how many tries, and I just couldn't get anywhere with him. So then I fell into the Assassin's Creed games, and I kind of played them. And I started my great list there. If you are a fan of my Facebook page, you know what that list is, or a fan of my Destructoid page, you know what that list is. Um, so along with that, I didn't play it for a while. Then I picked it back up and killed the hammer on my first try. I actually learned how to play these type of games. And then again, I think at that point Origins came out, and I got completely distracted again for a while. Assassin's Creed Origins, and I went in through other games as well. Dead Island and them. A couple of really bad ones. Fuck Dark Souls. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck Dark Souls. Um, in case I didn't mention, fuck Dark Souls. And then as I mentioned in a post last week and in the videos last week, I kind of had fatigue of going up my list by alphabetically. With Dead Island, it was a great game, but it was definitely it was a stressful game. Wow, was it stressful? Like a couple times, I thought it was going to cause a blood pressure incident. Wish I was kidding. So we went from. I decided I wanted to play something besides the next Dead Island game or Dead Rising. And I put up a vote, and Shadows of Mordor solidly won the vote. So I picked back up Shadows of Mordor, and I have been having tremendous amount of fun playing it. And that was almost going to be what was played tonight. Um, so I didn't play it for whatever reason. I didn't play it, but I'm here. And as we get going with Lord of the Rings, we'll talk about other great moments in gaming this week, including if what I found on GOG.com, GrandOldGames.com. If you do not belong to Grand Old Games and just belong to Steam, you're missing out. They very much complement each other. Very, very much complement each other. Um, so I got an email tonight that inside of Grand Old Games that a group of my wish list is on sale. Turned out about all of my wish list was on sale except for one game, including Dragon Age Origins and the Gold Box Kryn games, the Dragonlance games, similar to that Pool Radiance game I played a couple months back. So I grabbed all of those. I grabbed the three Darkfall games, which is more or less a ghost hunting game, and I grabbed the Dragon Age Origins. So a total of 7 games. I paid less than $13, and I didn't know if I wanted to play one of those. I also ended up getting a free game on top of that, so I got 8 games for like $13 tonight. But I decided I did want to play Lord of the Rings. I have not played Lord of the Rings online for a little while. So I wanted to get in here, and I'm looking at Aben, thinking, okay, my main hunter who I played last time. Do I want to play Aben or do I want to play one of my other characters? And I'm not sure. So we're going to start with somebody else. If the somebody else does not work out, we'll go back to Aben. So who are we going to play? We got Bergen here. He's a dwarf. Bergen is a level 50 dwarf. He is stuck in a graphics load. He is currently stuck in Forichel. It's a glacial area of Middle Earth. Um, he is level 50, and I've got him held at level 50 for the moment because I like to be able to complete the content in order. Yeah, I'm that person. I like to be able to complete the content in order. I've got Darien here, who I have not played in friggin' forever. He is a captain. Got his little Caramon helmet here. Um, I'm kind of in the mood for him. I'm also in the mood, very much in the mood for Bang. Um, this is Merrick. Merrick is a burglar, and the burglar can be a lot of fun. The burglar can also get his ass handed to him. How the hell am I a level 50 burglar on Parth of Wheel? Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Parth Lane. Um, and we have, well, those are the ones I kind of want to play tonight. So I think we're going to, I think we're going to go with muscle. I think we're going to go with, you know what? Who's my elf champion? Galanost. Galanost. Let's look at Galanost. Where is Galanost at? Galanost is in the Rush Rock Bog. Why the fuck is he there? He is an elf champion. Looks a little spiffy in that pathetic helmet, doesn't he? Um, wow, this is actually pretty hard to decide. It's really hard to decide. So I guess we're gonna go with. I don't want to do Berrigan because I'm not in the mood for 4HL, and he's actually in a spot where he's going to need a little bit of help. So we're gonna go with the captain. Yep, we are gonna go with Darien the captain. I've not played Darien the captain in for freaking ever. So Darien is named after a D&D character who at one point was named Darius. That name got changed because there was someone else in the party named Darius. It got changed to Darien, but he is really dating back to 1984. That dude is the first character I created with serious intent to play. So that is my very first fighter. He was a human fighter in D&D. He was actually from the basic set, the red basic set. So he was a fighter. Didn't even matter if he was human. He was a fighter. He was back in that set. Being an elf or a dwarf wasn't just your job. Wasn't just your race. It was your job. So, can you hear the ridiculous jingling behind me? My daughter put my poor dogs in jingle collars. Okay, where are we at? We are, hell. Oh, we are there. Oh, wow. We're in the North Downs here. Okay. Okay. Complete receive map to Winter Home. Sure, you can give me the map to Winter Home. Ain't fucking doing it. Visit the, yeah, fine. I'm not fucking doing it. I don't do festivals. I just don't do festivals. Okay, so the man has a decent amount of inventory space. And, oh, Universal Toolkit. Does he need that? Yeah, he needs it. Universal Toolkit. Oh, Universal Toolkits are a beautiful thing. Okay. Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's make sure he has points spent. Okay. No, let's not do that right now. Find the founding stone of Doldir, now called Estelden. That is my current live quest. I also have talk to some monkeys for some book quests. So let's look at what book quests I have. Okay. I'm trying to think, did I play this guy recently? Is that why? What does this guy have? Provisions for the glade. Correct Auroch stakes. Oh my god, that's awesome. Diane is going to love that. Oh my god, that's fucking awesome. She'll love that. Because her eyes, whether she wants to admit or not, are more fucked up than mine. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That is so awesome for people like me. Oh, I can't wait till she gets back. I can show her that. Okay. Why not? It's a quest. Search shattered barrels. Sure, why not? It's a quest. So apparently we are going to go searching shattered barrels. Flunky. Need a flunky. Where's my flunkies? Oh shit, where's my flunkies? Hey, there's a flunky. Okay, Thomas, come along. It's one of my flunkies. So about being a captain is being a mini pet class. You get heralds who do a fairly decent job of being in the way and fighting for you. It's better than being all exposed. God, I haven't been here in a while. So why yes. Now, part of not playing a captain forever, I honestly don't remember how to play the dude. Oh, the shattered barrels. It's the ruins alongside the water. Okay. That's cool. What fucking weapon am I using? Big fucking axe. That's what I'm using. Alright, anyone for the kinship on tonight? Probably not, because they're never fucking on. I've been thoroughly abandoned. Yeah, look at that. Fuck. Okay. Revolting silt toad. Okay, actually need some of this shit around here. So what else has been going on in the world of gaming? Well, as you have potentially heard from previous broadcasts, my wife and I used to run a LARP, a live-action role-playing game. We had created it with a group of friends long time ago. Um, Ended up being the sole runners of it um, because basically we just disagreed with their direction. They disagreed with our direction. They wanted to do their own thing, so we, bought their rights out and kept going. And we kept going for a while until we got oosgrayed by a couple of people. A couple of people, it hurt. It's a couple of people that should never have done it, but they did it. I'm not going to dwell on that right now. I started converting it over to tabletop, and stopped after a while because it was kind of hurting. But I decided I wanted to pick it back up because I am at heart a writer, and I found this great website. And I encourage, if you are a game runner, go to this website, check it out. I am probably going to drop money on the membership to get the unlimited stuff. Right now, I am I joined it last night. Within a couple hours, I was within a little bit of being at the limits of what I could do on a free account. Well, because it's that good, and because I have that much fucking stuff for the old LARP. But it enables you to design and run a campaign directly in this software. It is called Scarab, Scarab.com. If you are a campaign runner, I strongly recommend it. If you are a campaign player, I strongly recommend getting there, setting up an account, looking it over, and dragging your campaign runner into it. They call themselves rule neutral, so it's got a ton of rule sets. I think dating back as far as even potentially D&D first or second edition. But it's got the third, three and a half, fourth, fifth, and Pathfinder rules attached to it, and you can homebrew some shit. So I began adding the stuff in, and it's a really great site. Got an email this morning from the guy who runs it, who was fairly impressed with the amount of traffic I had. I don't know if that's traffic from me creating, or traffic from me creating plus our old players, or the old LARP players, getting a look at it, because I did share the link that I was doing it. So I honestly don't know which it is. But either way, there was a lot of traffic, and he was impressed and emailed me about it. Yeah, I am a little hyper. I've had a lot of sugar today, and when you don't have sugar that often, like I don't anymore, like high, pre-diabetic and shit. Did I mention I'm old? When you get a little bit of sugar, you get a little bit fucking hyper. Where's Darien here from? He's wearing some Gondorian ass looking armor, but I don't think he's from Gondor. I think he might be from the Dalelands. Walked in the Mordor. I didn't walk in the Mordor yet. Breland. Okay, I'm from Bree. That's what I'm actually wearing. Oh god, no wonder I'm wearing the Gondorian looking armor. It looks far cooler. Better or worse? Better or much worse? Sailbait. Okay, collect. Oh, herbs and simples. Isn't. Damn it, who texted me? This is the other reason I need a new camera. Okay, I heard you the first damn time. Oh, look, it is my assistant from work. And my daughter. Oh my god, okay, no, I'm not doing that. Um, well, I should almost be in my VR headset so I don't have to tool around with the camera like that. Sorry about tooling around with the camera like that. Um, but when you're, trying to be cute, it causes a problem. Alright, let's go talk to the guy who wanted me to bring the supplies to him. He's that way. Where the fuck was I? Um, People gotta leave me alone. Wow. Nothing's like having a pair of partial adult daughters. One's 18, one's 20. They comes with that kind of fun. Mm. So, we don't have any user questions today, or going into the night rather. So I don't know when we're talking about that. But anyone that logs on, if you want to ask a question, great. If you have the links to our Discord server, I am in the Felon Radio chat channel. You are more than welcome to come join me in the Felon Radio chat channel and say hi and ask questions and shit. Um, if you are a Lord of the Rings player on the Arkenstone server, by all means, send me a tell. Darionn. And they really need to stop texting me now. It's starting to piss me off. I don't actually have to do these quests. I don't know why I'm doing these quests. I could completely take or leave side quests. Completely take or leave them. Especially, um, shit, I'm not sure exactly when they did it, but when they upped the experience point gain from everything, side quests actually became kind of annoying. Yeah, well, okay. They became kind of annoying if you want to level up at a reasonable rate. If you want to level up at lightning fucking fast, hey, side quests. and it does level up too fast. The legendary servers are really neat in that it's gone back to the days of slower leveling and stage releases, and I really like that. I don't know. I'm not in the mood to play that tonight. I don't know what is with this area. This area right here in particular is always some kind of weird lag hell. Metalsmith. So that's weapons. Oh, armor. He does his own armor, but not his own weapons. So who the fuck made my axe? Nobody. Okay. But I like my MMOs to have a little bit of complexity. And I just when MMOs lose that complexity, I think it really, really, really hurts them. Um, Shit, look what happened to Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies, in a lot of ways, was almost a perfect game at one point. It was definitely the perfect crafting game. There has never been, and likely never will be, a better crafting system than what Star Wars Galaxies had. And I will never forgive LucasArts and Sony Online Entertainment for doing what they did to Star Wars Galaxies. But here we are. We're killing orcs. So going 9 years back, almost 10 now. Alan, our buddy Alan, played a character named Danua while I was playing Aben. He and I wandered into this area well before we should have, but that was a hallmark of Alan and I playing these games. We would wander into areas we knew damn well we shouldn't be in yet. And I think that was a lot of the fun. It was also usually around 2 in the fucking morning when we did it. So he was fine because he's young enough to be fine with that. I was out of work and pathetic, and should have been a lot more tired than I was. But them is the breaks. Us. It's an area down here in the North Downs where it was a lot. Say a lot easier. Ooh. Wow, I don't even know my own abilities anymore. It was easier to get your ass kicked back then. I mean, a lot easier to get your ass kicked back then. These days, this early in the game, you really got to work hard to get your ass kicked. Which is not to say that I can't, because, you know, I certainly can. I can get my ass handed to me. So let's talk a little bit on, what the North Downs is. The North Downs is an area north of Bree. You get it, North Downs. That has a nice little town called Trestlebridge. The Trestle Bridge, the actual bridge in Trestle Bridge, it's called the Trestle Span, is one of the really cool locations in Middle Earth. I really like it. And then it's got a town called Estelden, which is what I'm near right now. I'm not now. I'm actually at ruins. Estelden is where Aragorn was born. His name when he was born was actually Estel, as in Estelden, and the reason it was a secret name, and that was because there were people and things hunting for Aragorn. That would very much like to have gotten a hold of the son of Arathorn because they knew damn well what he could be. So his mom hid him and hid him for a long time. And near the end of her life, she took him to Rivendell, where he more or less had his adolescence, and where he met his future wife. And at some point in there, he wound up going to see this quest here: tough touch of corruption, defeat the Youngbur's defiler. This was one you could not fucking do alone. If you did this quest alone, you would get your ass kicked. His signature, he used to be elite. Hi, Diane. You want to see something really neat? Something I think you really would like? I could put you on camera. So in the quest journal now, you can control the font.
That's nice.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Now, if only games would universally.
Yeah, no shit. See, I told you she'd like it.
I don't understand how in 1980s we could read the font on our 13-inch TV, which also doubled as a game monitor, and now in 2018 I can't read the font on my 60-inch TV.
She's got a point.
And I can read the smallest print on the card at the eye doctor's without glasses. Just saying.
Okay, so Aragorn, boom. Yeah, he went sometime from Rivendell. He wound up in Lothlorien, where he um, got the name Elisar, which means Elfstone or Elf Star. I don't remember which. And that would be the regnal name he would take after he um, took the throne of Gondor. He stopped being Aragorn and became King Elisar. Dude lived to be around 200, which was pretty good for a Dunedain. So trivia there: the Dunedain Rangers weren't actually just something you could go, hey, I'm going to be a Dunedain and get an initiation and join them. It was a bloodline. It was a bloodline stretching back to the first elves. They have elvish blood. Aragorn is actually distantly related to Eowyn and Elrond. He's actually closely distantly related to Elrond. Closely distantly related, yeah. Hmm. One more stone somewhere. Ooh, an iron deposit. One more stone somewhere. A short while ago, they actually combined some of the servers, which in some games is a death knell. But this game has unknown fucking luck. I've never understood the luck this game has. Shit that would kill other games makes this game stronger. So, yep, it had some server combinations. Um, and when they did it, there's actually a population on this server now that talks to each other once in a while. Now, normally I will shut off world chat because, ooh, it gets painful. But I'll leave it. Let's trade and looking for fellowship. Who's looking for fellowship? Need tank, not a tank. I could do DPS. Tier 2, 6. What are they? Oh, store again. I don't know what that instance is. I don't know what level that is. So no, I'm not going to get myself into something I'm going to regret. And if I did, a lot of people would be really freaking amazed because I hate pickup groups. It's too bad you can't control the font here as well. Actually, I know you can. Duh, ding. Alright, we dinged. What do we want? I Yeah, okay, I'll take a defense. I didn't mean to actually take something there. I was hoping to get an explanation of what the hell I was clicking. Muck futta. Muck futta. Mm. If you're wondering, my wonderful wife brought me more sugar. Perhaps she's trying to kill me. She wouldn't be the only person. As you can get, I'm not going to read these out loud. If you really want to know, play the game. If I read these out loud, I would get a ridiculously tired voice by the end of the night, and you would be extra sick of hearing it by the end of the night because I read horribly out loud. Um, I come off sounding like a yutz. What else? Oh yeah, and I've been through some of these missions. I think 4 or 5 times now. Not going to do it. Well, maybe if someone wanted to do Fornost, I could get behind a Fornost run. I think I'm a high enough level for Fornost. I could get behind a Great Barrow run. Oh, I could definitely get behind a Great Barrow run. Long as hell, but fun. Can I get a reading on that? See if I have to kill spiders? I do not. And for the folks who are, might remember last week, I have played Fallout a little bit more. I still cannot 100% say I like it, but I did get some progress in. I was encouraged by one of my old customers from the LARP to give it another shot, and I had a better time playing it. Although it's still, kind of what the hell's going on here. It's still, I don't know. If I said I would have preferred it back in '97, I would be lying. But I was so goddamn busy with, being a LARP nerd back in '97. And now I've got the hiccups. The Danua that I used to run with, Alan's character, was a captain, human captain from Rohan. God, entering Rohan for the first time was so much fun. Other than my computer crashed during the update, and did not like the code at all. So sometimes loading into the game was a dicey at best prospect. So frustrating. So incredibly fucking frustrating. And it remained goofy. I think clear up into the Helm's Deep update. So it was a good year that it didn't work right. Instance play, the historical instances, didn't work at all on my desktop at the time. I actually wound up, anytime I knew I was going to a historical instance, I had to leave the game, load it up on my fucking laptop, play it on my laptop, complete the instance on my laptop, and then return, log off and return to my desktop if I felt like trying three more goddamn times. God, it's amazing I stayed with the game. I'll accept your adventure hook. I'll accept your adventure hook. Ooh, gotta kill 8 spiders in real quick amount of time. Really easy to do on a hunter. Really, really easy to do on a champion or a Bjorning. Not as easy to do on a guardian. And it can be a little dodgy to do on a warden, unless you have a DPS warden and not I'm going to tank everything in sight warden. Sirens outside. Let's go into the spider realm here. Spider realm. Don't do that. Sorry, I won't do that again if you don't tell anyone ever that I did it. 2 more spiders. Here, spider, spider. This was another, at one time, wonderful opportunity to get your ass handed to you before the oversimplification of the game. I'm uncomfortable in this chair tonight. Jesus Christ. We're actually going to go into a stealth and turn some of these quests in. The North Downs are very pretty. By the end of the area east of us, you are thoroughly ready to leave the North Downs. Other interesting bit here. Once upon a time, you could not get a horse in this game until you were level 26. Just couldn't do it. You had to be level 26 and you had to have 5 freaking gold. And gold was a long, hard earn. So we spent a lot of time walking everywhere. One of the niftiest features of this game is the stabling system. And then as a hunter, I was able to guide us to a lot of places, including Estelden here, and then back to Bree. We didn't necessarily have to walk it or horse it. The guides were a teleport. They are a teleport. They're handy as shit. Spider Queen. Not gonna sing it, I promise. Warg Slayer. Oh, right. Founding Stone. Junk vendor. Weaponsmith. Yes, weaponsmith. Okay, let's see. What do I got here in loot? Loot. Okay. Don't know if that's any better than what I'm using or not. Eh. Definitely not. Definitely not. Nope. Not doing it. Nope. Can't use it. Nope. Some stuff that actually is kind of useful, I just get rid of because, I really don't need it. Oops. Where's that scholar case? Not a weaponsmith. I'll just sell off the rest of that shit. Repair. What do I got? 9 gold. You know, that's about 8 more gold than poor Aben had at this level. Okay, we gotta talk to some people in here. Out of here. The Wardens of Enuminus. Why not? Enuminus, the capital city of oh, which group? Wow, I'm blanking on that. That's embarrassing. I should know that. I'll come to me. It'll come to me, and I'll yell it out because that's what I do. Really, my phone's ringing. Yeah, we're just gonna let that keep ringing. Yes, that is the Batman the Animated Series theme. That is my ringer. Okay. What's next? Nellie Boskins. I should probably go talk to Nellie Boskins. All the way the fuck back in Trestlebridge. Or I can go turn in this Earthkin quest. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, the quests out to the east here are thoroughly unneeded now because you advance too fast. Some of them were fun. Most of them were just kind of like, oh my god. And anything that was down the fuck here, right, down here, was insane, insanely hard. Works everywhere. Elite signature, which means right now I should be able to clean them up in one night. Hey, look at the Earthkin village. Home of the good and tolerant Earthkin. I don't see the need to do it. How about you? Once again, I don't see the need to do it. Yeah. I don't see the need to do it. I'm also about ready to begin book 4. I'm trying to remember where book 4 is. Book 4 is in, oh, the Troll Shaw's on its way to Rivendell. I haven't used this path probably in months and months and months, and I know where it is by heart. That's how much time we spent in Estelden. Way back in the day. Alright. What does this dude want?
Stay a moment.
That's who just told me to go hunt for the stones, the ruins. But, excuse me, pardon me.
Make your request with haste.
Wait a minute, didn't I just talk to that dude? Okay. Kind of getting like Hobbit love life here. So outside of Combe and Staddle, there's a pair of hobbits. And they like each other. But they don't know how to talk to each other, so there's an entire quest line of going back and forth, helping them with their love life. Just let that sink in. Hobbit love life. Really? Fucking in. Go on. God damn it! It's not even supposed to show me those notifications when I'm in a full screen game. Yeah, so do I. You're wasting my time. Holy balls. Maybe I should have taken those missions. No. Boom! Now I know these, especially the Lord of the Rings videos, tends to get a better audience once I put them up on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, comment on the video and say hi. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're alive. Let me know what you think. What do you want to know? Ask questions. You want to know why the hell you should watch me and listen to me? Ask. I will be happy to answer your questions, both back in the comments and on the next video. See, the Lord of the Rings videos wind up being remarkably popular on YouTube. So what can I say? The YouTube viewers have quite a bit of good taste in regards to, they know they like Lord of the Rings. See, there's nothing out here that can really hurt me, but I'm just low enough level that everything is a fucking nuisance. Especially birds. The birds actually will fuck me up before the other animals. The birds are a giant pain in the balls. I'll knock you off the horse as soon as I look at you. Ah, god damn it, there's a bird following me. People are shrieking in my living room and I don't know why. Numenorian? No. Yeah, Numenorian. It was the one of the capitals of Numenor, Numinous. Numenorian. Hey, that looks like it could be a signal fire. I don't know what it's a signal fire for. It is certainly not one of the signal fires of Gondor. Because I ain't anywhere fucking near Gondor. There's usually more of those up here. Isn't it fucking beautiful up here? Look at that. It is absolutely beautiful up here. One of the really, really excellent things about occasionally picking on a low character is the high characters. It can be a lot of almost, very workish environment, just trying to get anything done. And it's so serious at that point. It's so heavy at the high levels. The storyline is. I mean, you know what the storyline it's about. It's a heavy, heavy, heavy story. So being back here early on, just at the start of the mystery, not really having anything to do with the Fellowship. Um, let's try to figure out what the fuck's going on. It's a little lighter. It's a little less. Oh shit! You're clearing out. Okay, we're gonna clear out these orcs here, and enough for just to help keep the town safe. Where later it's we're gonna clear these orcs out because they're drawing Nazgul. What? What? Or this is an earth-shattering evil, and we're gonna go clean it, and we're going to go kill it. So you begin to kind of miss the. Well, I'm just gonna go over here and kill a couple of fucking hawks. That is some brave damn hawks wanting to attack two humans. Stealth attack. I honestly can't believe I'm looking for periwinkle. And I know it's a real flower, but doesn't it sound like a really bad Hobbit name? Actually, it would have been a really bad Hobbit name. Most female Hobbits were named after flowers. You know, Rosie. Rosie Cotton. I don't know if she's actually in the game. I never looked. I've got a couple Hobbits. Just never bothered to look. Bridget would know if Bridget was online. But she's not. Of course, I mean, a couple weeks ago, I found that female dwarf. That's the first female dwarf in the game. It might be the only female dwarf in the game. That's kind of momentous. Slash target. You used to be in galaxies. You could type slash target and the name of what you were looking for, and if it was nearby, you'd actually target it. God damn, was that plain handy. Oh wait, two more periwinkle. Two more fucking periwinkle. I'm halfway to the damn creek. I'm more than halfway to the damn creek. Alright, so let's go ahead and mount back up. Since green enemies aren't going to do dick squat for my XP. This is an area I don't normally get to. So the other settlement that was part of the North Downs was Fornost. Fornost was yet another city. May have been of the Numenorians. It may have been of the Westernese. Yeah, I'm completely blanking on that lore at the moment. That's annoying as shit that I'm blanking on the lore. Um, Go away, Hawk. No, don't you fucking interrupt. Um, anyway, it was the home to Aragorn's ancestors, the direct line ancestors, including one of the kings. And this king challenged the Witch King, challenged the Witch King of Agmar. Because the North Downs is, Agmar's right the fuck there. He challenged the Witch King, and the Witch King more or less made him his bitch. Turned him into the stored of Angmar, and kind of a pain in the ass wraith himself. I love these Numenorian ruins and motherfucking bird, motherfucking birds. Now, several weeks ago, I was out here with Bergen, my dwarf, or my dwarven guardian, um, and I was doing a quest out here, which is to rescue. It was rescue Dory, and yes, that Dory from the Hobbit, and the people I was with. Because I just happened to come out where there was a group of people out here. It's one of those areas where you don't necessarily need a group of people, but it speeds it up. So I hung out with them for a while, and they were, oh, it was so cute. Um, they thought I was new, and they walked me around like I was new, and walked me around half the Northdown quest like I was new. It was, it was a, it was fucking adorable, is what it was. And toward the end of the night, it came out. I was like, yeah, by the way, I've got a ranger sitting outside of Lake Town at the moment, or not a hunter sitting outside of Lake Town at the moment, and they were properly amused. But I figured, you know what? They were offering to help. It sped things up, and technically, it is a role-playing game, so old Bergen needed help. I figured Darien here, this is the furthest away he's ever been from home. Actually, no, probably not. The far side of the Lonelands is the furthest he's ever been away from home. I would say he grew up in the Breelands. Probably became, probably his parents had money. I say that because he's a captain. He had a position of responsibility, and in places like Bree, that was often held by the people that had money. So his parents probably had money. So in the new player opening in the tutorial, you're captured by a group of bandits called the Black Wolf Bandits, and they're douches. Not particularly nasty, but douches. But they're in league with the Witch King and a couple of his flunkies. So you're thrust into this shit. You're rescued by a couple of rangers, including Aragorn, and it just thrusts you into a situation of what the hell is going on now. Why are these things out here? Why of course Aragorn knows the answer to that, and then you end up working for him and Gandalf for a little while, and then they send you to talk to other people all over the place, including a large portion of the second book of the original volume here. You're working for Radagast. But the North Downs, well, at one time was in the realm of men, was a major area. It was, I mean, Fornost was a capital. This was a giant goddamn city up here, Fornost, before it fell. Hey, there's some periwinkle. Can't believe. Oh, look at that. My last two periwinkles. Can't believe I'm saying periwinkle. Bring the herbs to Orphan. Orphan is way down in Melthween. I'm way up in Othrakar. But I believe I can get a horse. So let's go get a horse. Question is, can I get a horse directly to Othrakar? I remember, yes I can, yes I can. It's going to be a long travel, but hey, that gives us time to admire the scenery. And boy, in this game, that is something you want to take the time to do. Don't rush around. I beg people. I beg kinmates, don't rush around. Look at this beautiful crafted world. This is crafted from the descriptions of Tolkien. Um, this is a closer vision to the books than the movies were. And the movies, visually were dead fucking on. Okay, the stories weren't exactly dead fucking on, but I don't care. I like them anyway, and I will probably start watching them again soon. It's always nice to see another person out here. Whoa, what the fuck? Rubber bando! Haven't rubber bandoed in a while. Yeah, looking at that on the replay, it was definitely a rubber bando moment. So while we are finishing up this ride, um, I haven't gotten a question about it, but I'm sure I will. And I'm sure I should. What the fuck is Felon Radio? Well, Felons were that is, I was explained before, that is our guild. When there's some of us on. The Felons have existed since the days of World War II online. Sorry, wow. They've existed since the days of World War II online. Did I come to the wrong damn place? Yes, I fucking did. Okay, well, I gotta get that stone down here anyway. Um, and they've gone up through several games. The incarnation here is the Fighting Felons of Lake Town. So, Felon Radio is, it's about us. I would actually like to get one or two of us online to talk with me. But it's about us. It's about what we play. It's about how we play. And, other games as well. Probably could drag Wayne on here one night. He is the original founder. He is the fodder himself. Although his original character in World War II Online was chauffeur, and he called himself that because he tended to drive. It was part that and part because, growing up, when he got his license, he drove people all over the place. And now he actually doesn't have to do it anymore. His kids are adults too. Oh my God, we're fucking old. Our children are adults. Jesus Christ. Oh, they play a lot of Neverwinter because the felons do exist in Neverwinter. I just it's Neverwinter. I just don't like it that much. Although I got to admit, with the Ravenloft content, it became a lot more appealing. It just takes freaking forever to get to it. So, Lord of the Rings, man. Most of the shit wouldn't exist without Lord of the Rings. Certainly as hell wouldn't be Harry Potter. Derivative crap. There wouldn't be a Game of Thrones without Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings and the Narnia series. C.S. Lewis. I mean, yeah, it was religiously heavy-handed to the point of being actually kind of obnoxious, but it was one of the grandfathers of the genre. Of course, they wouldn't exist without the Arthurian legends. And you really don't want me to start on that because that would just be me talking for days. I taught when I was still in high school. I would teach the classes on Arthurian legend because the teacher readily admitted I knew more about it than he did, and if I taught it, I would get an A. But you know what they all have in common is the magical element. And there's times, and some people find it harder to deal with this than others. There's times you just have to go, yep, that's magic. That's why that works. But my love of the genre, of the fantasy genre, my love started with the 1970s Hobbit cartoon from Rankin and Bass, and I still love that. I love that cartoon so much. It's just so much of it started everything for me, and then reading the books from there. Um, and when I say it started everything for me, I mean here I am. I don't remember how old. Um, my mom was a big believer in imagination. She still is. Um, Big believer in reading, and she knew what The Hobbit was, and the night that came on, whatever channel it came on, she made sure I was watching it. And I think from the opening line, it had me. I mean, in a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. That that opening line is just so important. It's so holy shit. And it just had me from there. And then um, the Arthurian legends came next. I just absolutely adore the Arthurian legends. I'm a snob too about them. Um, I know I drive a couple of my friends up a fucking wall with how much of a snob I am of them, and I am a snob of the pre Catholicized versions. So, the sword he pulled out of the stone was not Excalibur. That's the level of snob I am with the Arthurian legends. I know I drive a few people up a fucking wall. You can't see it behind me, but there's a bookshelf full of fantasy, and I mean, old world, old world fantasy. And when I say old world fantasy, I mean shit dating back centuries, and legends and myths. So yeah, I don't know entirely why I'm not actually a writer, other than it's really hard to break into the genre, and I want money. But I mean, these newer Arthur movies, King Arthur with Clive Owen, and that awful Legend of the Sword movie that just came out. I can't watch that crap. And part of that might be Keira Knightley too in the Clive Owen movie, because she's just a horrible fucking actress. It's like, no, we'll just leave it at horrible fucking actress. So, and I'm also a Lord of the Rings snob and a fantasy snob in general. I can't stand, and I've got friends that don't understand why I can't. I cannot stand Harry Potter. I tried. I really did try. My daughter asked me to read it. I tried. I got about halfway through Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Just couldn't finish it. Can't stand it. And you are free to roast me on the fact that I can't stand it. You can say whatever you want, and in the end, I'm just going to say I don't like it. I preferred Rowling's writings when they were written by Tolkien and Lewis and Geoffrey of Monmouth. 'Cause I just think she's very derivative. Not to say that really Lewis and Tolkien weren't derivative. They most certainly were. They were derivative of Arthurian legend. They were derivative of Norse legends, and I mean, there's quite a bit of the Ring and the Nibblings in Lord of the Rings. Obviously, I mean, dragons in a ring. It's kind of where it came from. But yeah, I just don't like it. So at the moment, this is one of these cleanup quests. I don't even remember having it, and it's gray and it's completely worthless to do. But I will get it out of my quest log, because even if I'm not going to get any XP out of it, a couple of silver is a couple of silver. I used to say that to Jason all the time. Jason played Rom, our crazy dwarven guardian. I pimped him out, our dwarven guardian friend. Dwarf guardians can give little acorn whistles that if you're in a group with them, you can use it to summon them wherever they are in the world. And he made me one. And I put it up on the auction house with instructions on, send Till to Rom, tell him, what's going on, summon him. And much to his surprise, I made quite a bit of money. Dwarven Meat Shield. Much to his surprise, one night, he got a tell and a group invite. And the next thing you know, here he is in the Misty Mountains protecting these guys. And he had no idea where they got the whistle. So I said, "Oh yeah, I put that up on auction because you'd made me two." And he's, what am I? Your dwarven meat prostitute? He's like, good title. So he was my dwarven meat prostitute, meat shield prostitute. My dwarven sword whore, or I guess shield whore, being a guardian, or axe whore, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, I sent him out to, of course, I sent him out to help other people. And it wouldn't be the first time. Way back in the day in Galaxies, there was a thing called the Death Watch Bunker. That's a Mandalorian clan. If you're not familiar with that, if you want to know what a Mandalorian is, Google it. That's what Boba Fett was. And the bunker was a major endgame instance, a major endgame dungeon rather, not an instance. It was an instance. It would have been better if it was an instance, but it was a major in-game dungeon, and we were very good at it. We were very, very good at it. And on top of us being very, very good at it, my wife was one of the top two medics in the game on our server, potentially in the game completely as well. So it was not unusual for people to send her requests to go run the Death Watch bunker with her and pay her to go run the Death Watch bunker and pay her a lot to go run the Death Watch bunker. If they needed if they needed firepower, I went with them too. Or the big one is if they needed the crafter that could do the helmet or the jetpack, they would need my what my crafter could do them. So I would go with them, and basically was okay. I'm more than happy to go out here and help you craft this, but if any of the materials drop, they're mine. And that was usually my payment was the materials. Her payment was a shit ton of credits. But it really was a great arrangement. So she was pimped out for me. My missus was. Don't need barrow iron. I miss Galaxies most times. There's a couple emulators out there that are okay, but it just kind of feels like it's living in the past. And after a while, you're playing them, you kind of get annoyed, and you got to stop. I love the scenery. I love the sky. It's a little grim here today. What time of day is it? Afternoon. Because sometimes you get beautiful skies out here. Actually, I'd still say the most beautiful skies are in Gondor after the battle of Pelennor Fields, after the volcanic cloud clears up. Just absolutely amazing, beautiful skies, amazing, beautiful scenery. It's an amazing, beautiful area. It really is. I'm gonna have to try to follow through with the whole Path of the Fellowship thing some night. I just have to rewrite it because I lost the password to the file. Don't ask why I passworded it. It's a long story. But Arnor, not Numenarian. This is Arnorian. Thank you, funky statue. How close am I to Miss Nelly? The ruins of Minas Vern. Search for missing relics. Search for missing relics. Search for missing relics in Minas Vern. Just gotta wonder what exactly these were at one time. I mean, look at that. That is the fields of Fornost out there. Fornost is a little bit that way. There's Fornost, and that leads out to Tinador, Evendim. Even it leads out to Evendim, which is a massive Ornorian ruin area. Kings of Arnor, who were Aragorn's direct ancestrage, up the man side, up the human side. Yep, X marks the spot, boys and girls. This was probably some kind of meeting area. Might have been a fort. It very well could have been a fort. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember what Minas meant. In that small city or large. I don't remember what it meant. Well, Barad was tower. I thought I remote quest. No. I think Minas was city, but this isn't quite big enough to be a city. So it might have been something similar. You get a little bit of Arnorian ruins in Rohan too, because at one point Rohan was kind of part of Arnor. How am I? I'm there. Right, so I need to get back into the city, up into the walls. Right. So yeah, like any MMO, of course, there's a lot of fucking fetch, grab, fetch, run, return, deliver quests. Of course there are, but they try to keep them fresh. Amarian, where the hell's Amarian? Oh, down here. Down at the watchtower. This is one of the Arnorian watchtowers, like Weathertop, like Amansul. What's its name? Salmon Wraith. I knew it was one of the Amons. And you can see it kept the watch on the way west. And it kept the watch. You can see right through the main gate of Fornost. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Got Minas Rune up there. Had to have been some kind of palace.
What can I do for you?
Yeah. Actually, I need to make better shoulders. You can actually die hopping off that hill. So, obviously, that means I found it out the hard fucking way. It's beautiful. I never cease to be, when I can take my time, I never cease to be in absolute awe of the visuals in this game. I've got one of the guildies doesn't like the color palette. It's like, well, they deliberately chose the washed out color palette like this because that's what the art of the time looked like. The art of the years this would have theoretically, those medieval fantasy years. Um, what what the that's was the coloring. That was the popular coloring. Or so I am told. I gotta admit, I am not an art expert. Greek tragedy, I can tell you about. Um, Norse myth, I can tell you about. English and Celtic myth, absolutely. Art, not really. Nor music. My brother-in-law is the music guy. His wife's the art lady. I'm the literature dude. Actually, makes us quite a good group. We're like a little mini. No, we're actually a little mini adventuring party ourselves. Oh yeah, this is the trestle span I was talking about. This is the bridge. This is really freaking cool. Boom. It was just on the other side there. That's where that orc camp was, where I killed that orc chief. Way the hell over there. Way the hell over there. Now, Pook, our buddy Pook plays Queeserin. He traditionally will jump off anything. He has jumped off. He has jumped off the bridge in Moria. He has jumped off this bridge, and most amusingly, he took a running dive on his warhorse at full speed. Took a running dive off of the pier at Minas Tirith, the big pier at the top of the tiers, so the big pier. Yeah, wow, Chad, you must be starting to running out of things to say, and the ability to speak English. He took a running jump off that, and it was funny as shit. We've all dove through the well in Moria. You actually get an accolade for diving through the well in Moria, and that's where he started. When we got the accolade for diving through the well in Moria, which by the way is a fantastic shortcut to the cellars. When he got that accolade, he started jumping off everything to see if he'd get accolades. Are you shitting me? I gotta go back to Estelden. Fuck you, Nelly. It's a long damn trek across the North Downs. You can actually, at the end of book 2, you have the ability to take a horse right to Estelden. And let me fucking tell you, that did not used to be the case. You used to have to come all the way back, up through Bree, up through Trestle Bridge here, and across. And there was no, what's called fog of war. See, if you hadn't visited that part of the map, that map was blank. And I liked that better because, A, it was more challenging, and B, you knew where you weren't. You knew where you hadn't been yet. You had to find Estelden. Estelden was not marked on the map. There was no directional arrow to it. It was a secret place. You had to find it. And it took us forever to find it. And I still to this day think that was better. Get off my lawn. So we're going to take the autopilot horse. The area to our immediate east is a gorge area filled with orcs, and it was one of the hardest areas in the game at this level. Now again, you get through it at night. It took us for fucking ever. When it was two of us, it was just Alan and I. We had a really hard time. We got our asses kicked. When we added a couple more people, we still got our asses kicked, but not as handily. and by that time he had a resurrection. Um, it's a hard area at one time. Fornost used to be ridiculously freaking hard. I have not been there in a long time. But if it follows the pattern, it's kind of easy now, I'm sure. Just like the Great Barrows. Great Barrows was, oh, good God, the Great Barrow was nasty. We've whipped through the Great Barrow in the past remarkably fast. Of course, I remember the one night Ron's character needed the Great Barrows, and he was considerably lower, and we decided to all be smart asses because the game does not gimp people if they're in with a group higher than them. They continue to get the XP they should. So we decided we were going to power level him through this, and it was horrendous. It was funny. You know, level 100 some hunters, three of them, Aben and no, not Aben. I didn't do Aben, but it would have been Bridget's level 70 something, Linnea, Diane's level 80 something, Sequisha, Quistrin would have been level 90 something at the time, and my level 80 or 90 something Lore Master Dorlock. And Ron's little level 30 hunter. And he didn't care. He just wanted to get through the area, get the quests done. And again, he got all the XP in the world for it. But we had a laugh at it having it done at his level. Just slaughtering everything in sight. Everything miserably just fell to us. We were brutal. Well, the lore masters are brutal in general because they've got these horrible tactical damage spells. Just awful nukers. Just awful. Not awful as in bad, but awful as in ridiculously powerful nukers. And I would hit with a lightning storm, and the lightning storm would clear a room. There could be 30 fucking monsters in that room, and thank God there never was. There could be 30 fucking monsters in that room, and the lightning storm would clear it. And then a tornado, and then all sorts of shit. I can remember one day riding around Rohan on Dorlock. I was looking for something. I don't remember what. And Bridget logged on with Liniana and immediately started to run into trouble. She got somewhere she shouldn't have been yet. So just raced to her. And I hopped off the horse and just let loose with every piece of magic the Lore Master. Lore Master's the wizard, by the way. Every piece of magic I had, and I wish I'd had it recorded because it was impressive. It was right out of a storybook, right out of could have been out of a movie. This, you know, lightning, fire, creatures. It was holy shit moment. She said it looked like I just opened up nature and pounded what was attacking her. Unfortunately, I did pay for it. Everything stopped attacking her and attacked me. I killed a lot of it, but being a guy running around in essentially a bathrobe, I did get overwhelmed. Yeah, Lore Masters, glass. I wouldn't even call them glass cannons because they're not even anything as hard as glass. I mean, maybe they're Play-Doh cannons, but at the same time, surprisingly survivable. I think I got to level 30 or 40 before Dorlock got killed, and a lot of it was solo. Amazed the shit out of old Wayne. You shouldn't be able to do it. You shouldn't be able to do it. He's right. I shouldn't have been able to do it. I should have gotten my ass kicked left and right. But I was a weasel, and I'd been playing the game long enough to know what I could do and what I couldn't do. And what I couldn't do, I made sure I had another hunter with me or someone that could tank. Although a lore master and a rune keeper are two horrendously powerful individuals. I suddenly have the urge to clear that quest down there because I know this quest up here is going to launch me into an instance. I've played, I think, every class in the game. I really like Hunter. I really like War Master. Warden is insane. Insane. It's just if Warden if Hunter is the survivability level and the toughness and the versatility of a Hunter essentially makes them say a Green Beret. The Wardens are the Navy SEALs. Um, it is hard to take down a Hunter. That's one of those classes where if you get taken down in any area that doesn't include a shit ton of elites, because you weren't paying attention to what you were doing. And then Guardians, of course, are the ultimate tank. You know, it takes forever to kill a Guardian. Unfortunately, it takes forever for a Guardian to kill anything. Champions are a disgusting amount of just flying blades. It's like wow, it's holy shit. Captains here are versatile. You can be an off tank or an off healer. Um, so lore masters are off healers. Actually, have a very good heal. Um, they have a good res, and of course they got all their tactical nuking. Minstrels are buffers and healers and resers, and a lot of fun to play. And then rune keepers. If you get a competent rune keeper, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you will not go down. Rune keepers, as long as you keep that rune keeper protected, you are in freaking invincible with a rune keeper. They throw down a couple of healing things. There's a healing stone, just heals you over time, just sits there. They throw down one of those. They can if they're on combat mode, they can throw down a lava stone. Rune keepers are just 9 levels of holy shit for that. And Rune Keeper and Warden, those were both added. Those were both added after the game had been up a little while. Those were both added with the Mines of Moria, and nothing else was added. No classes were added after that. So the originals were champions, guardians, hunters, captains, minstrels, and burglars. And then they added Runekeeper. Did I say Lore Master in that first group? I should have if I didn't. Then they added Runekeeper and Warden. And then years later, they finally added Bjorning, which, much like Dwarf and Elf in the original basic D&D set, Bjorning is not just your species or race, it's your job. And Bjornings are the descendants of Bjorn, the skin changer, the bear, and they themselves change into bears. And that is some of the funniest and fun shit ever. When you turn into a bear, you go into this. Really, gentlemen? You go. Shit! I don't have my herald. Oh, but I have combat call. Um, and you see this mauling. I forget what it's called, and it's funny as hell. It looks funny as hell, and it's so devastating, and it's so awesome of an attack. And you get you get a mob between 2 Bjornings or 3 Bjornings, and activate that ability. It's just okay. Bjorning's good. Next monster. Next monster. Next monster. Did I stop and get my gold up there? I don't remember if I did or not. Oh, buddy hell. I'm getting back into Westilden. And no, I don't know all the pronunciations. I honestly don't know if it's a Stelden, a Steldine, is what Bridget says. I'm not sure what it is. Being that it is likely a Scandinavian word, I don't fucking know. Dude was an English linguistics professor who liked Scandinavian words and Nordic words, and yipe. Oh yeah, Nordic. There's a bit of Beowulf in this. You can't don't look at Gollum and realize that's Grendel. Funny story. My daughter, senior in high school, they had a Beowulf unit this year, and she is not keen on the fantasy stuff, and she's really struggling with it at this point. I mean, it was weeks ago, but she was really struggling with it. And she said what she was studying, and I was kind of hurt she didn't say something. It's like, come on. Um,
How can I be of service? Might I take a moment of your time?
hey, look, we're going to launch into an instant. So I got her to, sit down with me, her and her friend, and I went through the first two major acts of Beowulf. Stopping Grendel, tracking Grendel, killing Grendel, Grendel's mom. And I said, and then somewhere it gets to a dragon, but quite honestly, we ran out of time and I didn't read that part. So she went back into school and just blew the teacher away with what she wrote down and what she knew from me. Um, I was originally going to be an English teacher, so that's why. Blew the teacher away. The teacher was talking to my wife, just impressed with everything, and my wife said, "Oh, she sat down with my husband. He explained it out to her. They didn't go into major detail, but got her what she needed to know." And he said, but he readily admits he got to the third part with the dragon and never finished it. And the teacher laughed and said, "Nobody ever finishes Beowulf. Nobody ever finished." That was a fucking stink bug landed on my monitor. And I think she's right. Nobody ever finishes Beowulf. I don't think the guy that wrote Beowulf actually finished Beowulf. Beowulf is a major inspiration of this. Oh, I should have pulled the Herald of Hope. Herald of Hope drops some heals. Of course, I've also got Halberd. Halberd's one of the Dunedain. Don't get attached to the Dunedain. Not a whole lot of them survived the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. I know in the movies they weren't even in the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, but they were very much in the book. The Grey Company, they were called. Showed up at the end of Helm's Deep, and they were Aragorn's elite force. So we're going to kick your ass now. In fact, the start of Volume 3 in this, the third set of major quests, is called The Ride of the Great Company. Kind of like Middle Earth Avengers. That would have gotten me points on a test. So here's a bit of English teacher trivia for you. Who was the real hero of the Lord of the Rings books? Was it Aragorn? Was it Frodo? Here's why it's Frodo. In stories like this, started with Greek tragedy and went into this. The hero's journey, it's called, and it was a major, essentially roadmap. And the guy who mapped it in modern times is Joseph Campbell. And Google him, pick some shit up. Good, very interesting writer. And he came up with the idea. He codified the hero's journey. Came up with the idea of cyclical writing, which is, if you want to know what cyclical writing is, Star Wars is cyclical writing. How it all just kind of seems to go round in a circle. That's cyclical writing. For the people who think Star Wars is just a silly copy, the new movies is just a silly copy of the original trilogy. Well, yeah, it is. Of course it is. It's cyclical writing, and if you don't understand that, you didn't fucking pay attention in high school. But one of the things with the hero's journey is usually the hero doesn't get the reward of what they fought for. They don't really reap. Everyone else gets the peace. Everyone else gets the prosperity. The hero kind of remains an outcast sometimes. Sometimes just miserable. And Frodo, his years in the Shire after the Fourth Age began were definitely not happy. Although he was happy. I'll wait till the end of this.
Frodo of his mortal wound, and now the time has come to decide the fate of the One Ring. I can see no other path than that which leads to Mount Doom. Who then shall defend Eriador against the shadow of Angmar?
So Frodo, yeah, sure, he was happy for Sam. He was happy for Merry and Pippin and what they achieved. Even Frodo achieved some success afterward. Became Mayor of the Shire, or Mayor Hobbiton. Yeah, Mayor Hobbiton. Um, but he never felt like he fit in anymore. He didn't feel like he deserved any of it. He was definitely an outcast. He was put aside. And then he went off. He fought what he did, not for himself, but for everybody else. And that's the major part of the hero's journey. Aragorn set out to do what he did and got the throne. He got the throne. He got the throne. He got the elf. He presumably got kids, and he lived another 150 fucking years. He did okay. Not to say that he's not a major hero in the story, but he's not the hero of the story. Frodo really is. Frodo might argue that he was not because he fucked up, but Frodo really, really is. Yeah, I gotta go back to Estelden now. The long fucking line. Hey, look, goddamn stink bug. Where did he come from? Warms up a couple degrees and I get stink bugs again. Better than lantern flies. So yeah, Frodo.
How can I be of service?
Well, if you read Campbell, there's an archetype for every type of hero, and it really does. You get the tragic hero, which is Frodo. You get the valiant hero, Aragorn. You get the protector hero, Sam. Sam is an amazing hero. People don't realize just how impressive Sam is. Maybe people do. I don't know. Sam is a really impressive character. Merry and Pippin, the two heroes with growth, both literal and figurative, possibly came the furthest of any of the hobbits as far as maturity, which is to say they had none at the beginning and they had a hell of a lot at the end. responsibility. Both of them becoming leaders of their respective communities. Merry becoming the master of Brandybuck Hall, Pippin becoming the Thane of the Shire, and being good at it. Um, you know, they're just such fleshed out characters. You kind of knew them. You Faramir and Eowyn. In his position as the new Steward of Gondor, working directly for Elisar, Aragorn, whatever. Um, Not mentioned in the movie is Prince Emerhil of what the hell is the name of his city? Dol Amroth. I almost had to look it up. Dol Amroth. It's such a big world and such a bigger world that even the movies portrayed. And the movies did a good job of portraying the world, not necessarily story for story, but they did a really good job of portraying the world. If you're wondering what the fuck I'm pointing at, I've got a DVD player over there. Nothing's in it running at the moment, but I'm a pointer. Oh, so this is the books I was talking about. This book series. I've got all but two. One's missing somewhere in this house. Oh, I know where it is. Okay. Um. Now I have another reason to clean over there later. And then two of them, I didn't know they existed. I found out my mom lied to me. Said the book series was done. Yep, still had two more to go. Um, just tired of paying for them, I guess. Well, my dad was tired of paying for them right away. My dad did not get fantasy. Did not get fantasy at all. Didn't read very much. The only thing he ever read was Tom Clancy books. And, well, Tom Clancy. Um, Boy. Forget what I was saying when I went, oh, look, book. It's a week. Fuck that. That is the month and a half I've been having. But I mean, it's just the fact that it all. I don't know for sure how Tolkien began to outline everything, or what really did truly come first. Some people would say it was the ideas for the Silmarillion came first. Um, I heard The Hobbit definitely came first. I don't fucking know, but The Hobbit was published first. And it was a standalone kids book. And I'm 44 years old, and I'll read it every so often. It's just and I'll read it fast. That's a quick book to get through. Um, the Fellowship of the Ring is not as quick to get through. Two Towers is really not as quick to get through. Um, oh shit! I'm running. I really had loot sitting in there for over an hour. Really? Not that it was anything special. It was junk loot. Um, Damn it! I distracted myself again. Oh, and Return of the King. I thought Return of the King was a very easy book to get through. Um, at least most of it. By the time we're in Return of the King, by the time we're I don't honestly don't feel the need to follow Frodo as much. I found what Aragorn was doing far more fascinating. And I know I just got through saying that for the most part, Frodo is the big hero of the books, and he is. I still identify more with Aragorn personally.
How may I help you?
Sam is such a great character. Everyone deserves a Sam. Obviously, Samwell Tarly from the Game of Thrones is based on Sam Gamgee, or derived from Sam Gamgee. Um, wow. Oh, I see why she probably pronounces it Estaldine. She's probably right. Okay. Huh. No, it's just days take a long time in this game. Halberd. Oh, Halberd.
How can I be of service? Could I speak with you a moment?
Talk to Aragorn in Rivendell. Aragorn in Rivendell. So now we're catching back up with the Fellowship. That's exciting shit. I wonder if I can get right to Rivendell, if I'm going to have to go slightly the long way. And I'm okay with going the long way. Some days I will exclusively go the long way. Some days are not, however, quarter of 11 at night. That means I have been yapping at you for over 2 hours.
What do you need?
Nope, not open to me yet. Balls. Balls. Oh, we can get to West Bray. Go home, young man. Want to see me make a mess? That went better than I thought it would. That button right there, that's too easy to press. Just doing what I did just now is likely to press it. Of course, I got the little indicator in my upper left that anyone on my Discord channel can hear me yapping away, so I should know I hadn't pressed it yet. Bree is, I think, particularly well done. It feels like a medieval town. Oh look, Bree lag, Bree lag, Bree lag. Brelag used to be a horrible, horrible thing. And then for a while it went away because no one ever came to Brie. And now it's back. And it's back in weird places. Like it's back in this alley, and there's no reason for it to be back in this alley. Down the main road, sure. Over by the fucking Prancing Pony, absolutely. Down at the South Gate, and primarily because down at the South Gate because that is the gate to everywhere else except Tinadur and the Shire and the North Downs. Evendom and the Shire and North Downs. Everything else is to the south, to the southeast. So I mean, I would not be surprised, and I'm never necessarily surprised to see the South Gate packed full of fucking people. I think their expectation would have been the Prancing Pony was going to be the hub of activity for Bree. It is the South Gate. But I don't think there's a whole lot of actual role players in Arkenstone. If there were more role players, I think the Prancing Pony would be busier. What did I say? Look at all those people. It's not a lot, but it's more than you run into in a lot of places. Oh, hey, there's a minstrel playing. It's always kind of nice. Now, there's what they call the ABC system. That you can play music that's pre-written, and any play type of music. I play the King of the Golden Hall a lot. And then there is you can manipulate with the number keys on top of your keyboard. My brother-in-law, the music teacher, is one of a couple people that I know that has perfect pitch, and he played a minstrel one night. And well, there's someone talking to you right now that also has it. And I was playing a minstrel, and we began pecking out songs. We figured out which keys were which note, and we started playing songs freehand. And when the guys in the guild realized we were playing freehand and not using the autoplay system, they were a little weirded out. My brother-in-law, he got a. No matter what else you can say, he has one hell of a musical ability. Okay, let's go to Oscarth. Looks like I'm going to be hoofing it partway to Rivendell. I may not necessarily make it there tonight. In fact, I think at 11:15 I probably won't. This is Oscaruth. It is one of the strongholds of men to the east of Bray. There's our buddy brother Weathertop right here. I probably should have gone up Weathertop. I probably should have gone up Weathertop for you. I'm sorry, I didn't. It's the Trollshaws. In here is Bert, Tom, and Bill. The Stone Trolls. They're right in here somewhere. Or they're right in here somewhere. Of course, there's Rivendell. Rivendell is very pretty. Although, if you get a lag spike, these bridges suck. You can go up into the Misty Mountains up here. There's the Misty Mountains. Goblin Town's up here. Goblin Town's always a fucking hoot. If you go down south through Region, you can go into Moria here. Hey, look, it's Moria. out to Lothlorien. You know, south of Lothlorien, you get the Rothorn, or not Rothorn. Oh shit! Sorry, wrong world. You get the Rohan. I really do have the old campaign on the mind. Um, it's most of the world is here, and as I said in another broadcast, I waited almost 10 years, almost 10 years to go the wrong bleeding fucking way. So yeah, hey look, there's Mordor. Isn't that nice? There's what's left of Mount Doom. Mordor is, it's remarkably hard. It's a lot of fun, but it is remarkably hard. So I did go the wrong way there. Regian, Moria, Dimwalt Dale. Mirkwood. Dol Guldur. Balls. I waited 10 years. 10 freaking years to get to here, to Lake Town. I could just sit in Lake Town for a night and just stare. I, Lake Town always had my imagination. From the Hobbit on, Lake Town had my imagination, and the Lonely Mountain did too. It's just that's such an important part of my identity as a writer, as a fantasy fan, is going in and going into that area and exploring it. And I love it, and I kind of would like some people to go into it with me, and motherfuckers. But yep, it is 11, and I am just getting tired enough to get kind of gloomy. So I don't want to get gloomy on yous. I do want to say I had a good time tonight. Um, to the folks that watch this on the Mixer replay, hello. And to the folks that will watch it on the YouTube replay, hello. Please comment, subscribe to follow me on Mixer, subscribe to the YouTube channel, say hi, let me know you're out there, ask questions, tell me what you'd like to see. Would you like to see me walk the path of the Fellowship? Would you like to see Mordor? Would you like to see Minas Tirith? What would you like to see? Helm's Deep, Rohan, you know, the Golden Hall itself, Mediceld. Tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me what other games you'd like to see. I've got plenty. There's lists posted on facebook.com/horrorchad. It's HORRORCHAD. Chad, can you tell what type of movie I like the best? Um, all my console games are there. Some of my PC games are put in a list there. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me, if you don't see it on the list, tell me you'd like me to check it out. Um, I've taken that advice and been very happy with what I've gone and done. Um, I didn't think I'd like Destiny 2. I loved it. I didn't think I'd like Diablo 3. I loved it. Uh, Path of Exile. Thank you to my cousin Ken for suggesting that. Just, say hi. I'll be on other nights besides Friday, yapping away. I've got a lot more games now to display, including I want to get Shadows of Mordor online for you. Um, 2 3 year old games, still a lot of fun. I mean, amazingly done. Although my daughter can't tell between it and a couple of the Assassin's Creed games, and for gameplay, I understand why. Um, let's build a community. Do you play Lord of the Rings? Are you on Arkenstone? By all means, watch. I'm usually going to be on Aben, ABEN, or Bergen. Let me go ahead and log out so you can see who the hell how to spell that. Send me a tell. Send me a fellowship request. Say you watch one of the broadcasts and you want to hang out with me. Um, Check out the Discord activation link on the Facebook page. Come talk to me here if you want. I want to make a community. I want to make a community of gamers that are really into the story of the games. Um, Bergen, Baergan. In fact, if you want to take a look at all those characters, I do play them once in a while. Um, I would love to see people. I'd love to hear from people. I love to play with people. Um, Send me a friend request on Steam. It's either Aura Chad or Aura Chad 74. I'm pretty certain it's Aura Chad. AURACHAD. Send me a request on Steam. You play No Man's Sky. I need some. I need some immediate access to other areas of the galaxy, looking for certain planets, and you might want to come see what we have out on our way. Um, just, you know, like-minded gamers. I'd love to see that. Love to see some older gamers, to be truthful. Some people my age who play. Um, it's not just a young man's sport. There's a lot of us out there. At least I thought there was a lot of us out there. So, thank you if you're catching this up on the replay. Thank you. No one stopped by tonight, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But if you pop in the replay, let me know your comment. I see your views. I know you're watching. I know it. I see it. So say hi. Give me a what's up. Um, my Destructoid audience. Love you guys. Major source of the conversations. Great conversations about gaming. I promised you guys at some point to talk about why I think computer games are the modern mythology. And I really do. And someone countered me and said, no, comic books are the modern mythology. Comic books were the modern mythology. It's really, really, I think, the video games now. And I'll talk about that. I'll talk about, why Commander Shepard is Odysseus. And he really, really is. Or even Heracles, Heracles, Hercules, take your pick, same guy. Um, why Commander Shepard's Hercules? Why, Mass Effect is the modern equivalent of the Greek tragedy. I yap about that every time I play it. And if you watch me play Andromeda, you know I yap about that. Or even when I played one, I yapped about it. It's the Assassin's Creed series, or almost the Knights Errant, and I could go on, and I will go on, and I will go on and on and on and on and on. Perhaps I should just do a separate YouTube video about it. Um, but I really, appreciate feedback. Um, Come say hi. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Do you like it when I'm more low energy? Do you like it when I'm high energy? Do you like it when I'm just playing silent? Play the fucking game. Um, I want you to be a part of this with me, and I really want to explore this. And I want to explore a lot of the great older games that get overlooked. I mean, GameCube, as goofy ass a system as that was, had some of the best games. Had the best horror game I ever played. Far better than any of the Resident Evils was this game called Eternal Darkness. Do yourself a favor, look it up. If you got a GameCube, find it. If you got a Wii that still plays the GameCube games, find it. It's a great game. Um, what do you think of MMOs? Do you think the day of the MMO is almost over? I do. I think the cooperative games, such as the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer and the Andromeda multiplayer and the Destiny multiplayer, I think that is going to become the new MMO if it already really hasn't. As games are a constantly evolving media, just like television and film were. I think television and film are very stagnant at the moment, but video games, even though they're all variations of the same thing, I think video games is still a very exciting, evolving media. And it appeals to gamers young, and it appeals to gamers my age, and it appeals to tabletop gamers, and it appeals somewhat degree to LARPers. LARPers are a special animal in and of themselves. And believe me, I was one of those animals for a long time. And I've been a tabletopper since I was 10. I've been a major tabletop writer for almost as long. And I love to actually pull out some of my old stuff and see my evolution as a writer, and my LARP stuff to see my evolution as a writer. And I know I frustrate some of the Felon Guild members when we're playing a game and I see the plot coming. I've been told to shut the fuck up more than once. um, it's just it's still a frontier. You got VR. VR is such, and I thought VR was just kind of a gimmick. I really did, because the first time they tried VR years ago, it was just a gimmick. It was just a yeah, whatever. Um, it's something really interesting now. VR is it could be really a go-to. Playing Bridge Crew is amazing in VR. Got a couple of horror and games that are so much fun in VR, and utility, YouTube and VR is it's just it's an immersive depth. It's very I don't think it's there yet, but I don't think it's a gimmick any longer. I think it's gonna be something very special. Um, where that first where that first attempts at VR back in the 90s and early 2000s were like laser discs. Um, Current VR is more akin to Blu-ray or even digital media. Um, I've embraced VR photography. I've got a VR camera, a 360-degree camera to do stuff when we go camping, and when we do interesting shit that I'll be posting videos on it, assuming we can ever actually get out and do it. Uh, but I've been yapping long enough. I've been probably talking almost as much as I've been playing tonight. So I want to say goodnight again, and thank you everybody. And keep an eye out for my streams. Keep an eye out on Facebook, facebook.com/horrorchad, or Chad's Video Game Reviews. Take a look at, keep an eye on Destructoid, or a Chad on Destructoid. And of course, here on Mixer or Chad74. Follow me, subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Destructoid, like the Facebook page. You know, pop in, let me know what you think, and I'm not going to repeat all this again because you're going to get annoyed. Have a great night. Again, I want to thank my buddy Sean, the very evil teddy bear himself, for getting me started and making sure I didn't look like a complete ass doing this. Thank my who were usually my normal viewers who couldn't quite make it tonight, but it's that time of year. I get it. We're hoping to do something really special next month. Not really special. It's really special, but something different next month. I'm hoping to stream a tabletop game. I'm hoping to be able to maybe not necessarily stream it, but record it and put it up, as a cast. And if I do it the way I want to do it, it's going to be in VR. It's going to be in that with that 360 camera. So you'll see the group of weirdos that I hang out with in action. Bunch of silly old men. But until then, I am indeed a silly old man, and I do silly old man things, and I do silly kid things. But I want to thank you all again and say have a great night. And we'll catch you next time in Middle Earth. We'll catch you next time, maybe somewhere in Andromeda or whatever world we get to. Have a great night.